So a lot of people who don't understand what is meditation, they will have this desire to seek peace, to seek the jhana, to seek what they call sukhang, blissfulness of mind. Then sometimes they seek nimitta. They heard people say you can see nimitta, means they thought they have progressed. Actually, nimitta is nothing. Nimitta means when you are meditating, when you are calm, the mind settles down. Then as the mind settles down, your sankhara move. Then it creates a type of nimitta experience. So during that time, you are more calm. Then this nimitta will appear. It's nothing. It's just a mind state. Because you experience a type of calm, suddenly you become more and more mindful, more and more aware. Then this nimitta will surface. Then depending on your past cultivation, your character and other things, different people experience it differently. Some experience it as certain type of light. Like for my case, for my case is violet. There is this purple light, violet. Then it will develop. Then it will move very fast. Then there is this movement. Then sometimes it becomes so fast, like spontaneously effervescent inside there. Then if you don't have the understanding, you will get attached to it because it's so nice. Then you get absorbed into it, you play with it. Then you think this is something special. Other people cannot get, but you can get. So during the early days, when I saw it, I also was quite amazed by it. But then I know how to relax into it. Then I saw it slowing down. Then I just be with it. Then after a while, it will move. Then you follow it, it will become faster. Then suddenly it's so fast, like effervescent. Then I realized everything is like, when you do this chemistry experiment, when you put the acid and the salt, then suddenly they call effervescent. You know what is effervescent? The bubble very fast. But this one is the light inside there. Or Chinese New Year, you all play with that, what? You call what? Sparkler. Yanhua. Not the shooting up one. The one with a lot of, like iron falling on. You burn the thing, then it like a lot of these things. The one I saw was a few thousand times faster than that one. Very fast. Then you realize everything is like that, effervescent, in a state of flux. Then this mind becomes very quiet, very still. Then after a while, it will fade. Then anapanasati starts to develop. Then I went into all the calmness, the stillness. Then initially, the continuous mindfulness allowed me to go into absorption. That's why I experienced the absorption state. That one is samatha. Go too deep. You go beyond Upacara Samadhi. You go into Appana Samadhi. The continuous mindfulness is so still, so calm. It becomes very still, very calm. But whatever it is, you must always remember the purpose of meditation is to develop wisdom, not to develop special psychic or special skill or special ability to do magic. No, that is not the purpose. But you can experience them, no harm. You can give it a try. So that other people, when they talk about it, you understand. But if you are attached, you will get yourself lost in it. Because that becomes your priority. And every time you meditate, you seek that peace, that calmness, that good state of mind. Then you heard people say, Nimita, very interesting. Then you become like the ego come out. Then next time you ask people, hey, you got Nimita or not? I can develop Nimita. Oh, yours what color? Mine what color? But what does it make you? More egoic. It's not going to give you more wisdom or understanding. But when I saw the very fast movement, like I tell you, effort was very fast, then suddenly my heart within awakened to it, because everything is actually in the state of flux, moving at that very high speed. So, in certain type of tradition, I think they go and quote the sutta. You heard of this word, kalapa or not? Kalapas. Huh? You heard of this word? Kalapas. Amy, you heard or not? Huh? You heard of this word? Oh, where did you hear them? No, it's moving very fast because your speed is fast. You tend towards the speed of light. So it's like the time slow down. But it's very fast. So one of the meditation in Burma, they look for this. This kalapas move very fast. But for me, my mind can be aware of it. No matter how fast, it can be aware of it. So this type of movement, actually, these are very fine. It's just like we study physics. We think atom initially during the olden days. Atom is like the smallest indivisible particle. Then they realize that hypothesis is wrong. Actually, within the atom, there are still a lot of things. There is this nucleus inside there. Then around it, you have the proton, the electron. Then you have later on the meson, more fine particle, smaller and smaller. So these things, they become very fascinated, very interested. Then they think, when they have those jhana and all those things, they can see all this, then it can give them wisdom and understanding and all those things. But depend, if you know how to make use of it and develop wisdom, then yes, okay. But if you cannot, then it is not the purpose of meditation. Because the purpose of meditation is to develop awakening, understanding, so that your mind can liberate from defilement, so that your mind is not deluded, you will not attach, you will not cling, you will not hold. You will understand, think clearly. You will see things as they are and develop this awakening. And you will root out self-delusion. So all this is the central focus of meditation. Meditation is not to seek things, get excited with things. Meditation is to silence your mind, to awaken to the universal characteristics of nature. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. The three universal characteristics. And these are Pali words. The English equivalent is anicca is impermanent. Dukkha is the suffering state. Anatta is the non-self nature or empty nature or existence. All of phenomena, may be mental, physical, or nature's phenomena, they exhibit this universal characteristic. They are of the nature to change. They are in a state of flux. Because everything is dependent, originating, condition arising. This is our conditioned world. Conditioned world is like that, Sankhara Dhamma. Then within the conditioned world, because everything is dependent, originating, when conditions arise, things arise. When conditions cease, things cease. And because of that, there is this universal characteristics of impermanent. Things are never static. They always evolve, following nature's condition. That's why they are causal phenomena. Dependent originating, condition arising. Without condition, nothing arises. When condition arise, phenomena arise. Then when the sustaining conditions are still there, the phenomena will continue to sustain itself. Then when the sustaining conditions cease to be, the phenomena will cease to be. That's why there is this birth and death, rise and fall, coming and the going. This is the nature's movement. Everything exhibits that characteristics of impermanent. And because it's impermanent, it never remains the same. That's why it's not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can cling on to, hold on to, and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore, all this can be mine. There is no such thing. This is delusion, the Buddha said. And because it is impermanent, it changes. So nothing is static. You can never hold on to a state that you want it to be forever the same. Like when you experience piti, sukhang, or good mind state, peacefulness of mind, calmness, you cannot expect it to remain forever that state, because these are all dependent originating. That's why all calm state or pleasurable mind state is a prelude to suffering if you attach and cling. Because when you cannot get what you want, suffering will be the result. So everything follows nature's law. If you want things your way, which is not nature's way, then you suffer. When you cannot get what you want, you suffer. When things don't go your way, you suffer. When your expectations in life are not met, you suffer. If you want it your way, then you must know how to create the condition behind its arising. And then it can bring out the fulfillment of your wish or the fulfillment of your aspiration, because you work towards the condition for its arising. It's just like study. You want to become a doctor, or you want to become an engineer, or an accountant, or a professional. What must you do? We have a legal system. We have an education system. You got to go through it. Of course, some take the crooked way. They go and buy their degree, which is possible. But it has its karmic implication. But if you had done it following nature's law, not affecting anything, not deceiving, not cheating, without the evil root, then whatever that arises is wholesome, beautiful, conducive for the good life. But if you go through the crooked way, which is not nature's way, then you will come to experience the repercussion or the effect of it, whatever you do. So nature's law is such that you cannot violate them. So this is the part that you have to understand. Then coming back, you have a question. Yeah, Alex, Adam, sorry. yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brother Teo. Just now I want to ask about the Nimita that you explained earlier. I experienced something that you said, like Nimita, maybe because when I close my eyes,
you will see light.
It's even brighter than when.
Daylight.
It's like daylight. It's like. At the beginning, it keep on flickering. Flickering, and then later it slowly come down. I noticed that
So what do you do when you see them?
I just accept them and just wait for it to slowly
it's
like coming down, and then it's turning from white to green.
I know the color change.
And then it stays here, and then later when you explain to look into our heart, the thing came and just stays
then
here.
What happened? What do you do?
I just let it move according to what you say, and then it's like when it settles down.
You relax. The key word is relax. Relax. Then it will not build up. Otherwise, it will build up. Then the nimitta will be more and more strong, more and more powerful. Then you feel that you like to play with it. Then you build up energy. That's how people go into jhana. Because these are objects of meditation. Light is one of the objects of meditation. Out of the 40 meditation objects, I think a few of them are light. They see different color light. They call it kasina. You heard of kasina? Water kasina, earth kasina, light kasina. Light is one of them. You haven't heard of this word? All start with K. kasinas. These are meditation objects. And you got the 4 elements, like kasina. In Thai they call kasin. You got light, you got water, you got earth. Sometimes they also go for wind kasina. These 4 elements, there's another one is heat. Heat. Light is heat actually. They can create very strong wind energy. When you develop all this kasina, then this water also quite common. Sometimes they put the water on the butt. Then they focus, develop the kasina. But these are all for samatha meditation. So don't go and try. But if you come along from your past, you will know what to do. For your case, have you ever focused on it before you come to my class?
Normally, I never focus.
You never focus. Okay. Never focus means not so bad. Because if you focus, the energy will build up and it become very strong. Then you can go into jhanas and all those things. So the one-pointedness, samatha meditation, that one will lead you to the jhanas. The other one is the continuous mindfulness, absorption meditation. And that one is safer. That one make you very calm, very still. And the whole mind like still until no movement at all. So that one is more safe. But that one also a conditioned state. We call it Appana Samadhi. There are 3 levels of Samadhi. You heard of? Yeah? How many have heard of the 3 levels of Samadhi? Okay, me from heard of. The first one is what? Khanika Samadhi. Yeah? So Samadhi, there are 3 types. So first one is Khanika Samadhi. And what is Khanika Samadhi? They call it momentary, or moment to moment. This one, the Vipassana like to use this one. The second one is what? Upacara. Upacara Samadhi. Third one? Appana. Appana is absorption. Double P or 1P? Double P, Appana Samadhi. So Appana is absorption. Upacara is you are at the threshold. You haven't gone into Appana. Access concentrate. They say before you access into it, means before this one, Upacara Samadhi, go into Appana. Appana is already absorption. Very calm, very still. But Upacara is at the threshold. Threshold. They use the word access or threshold. I use another color. So this one is already go into the concentration or absorption. Means inside there is no awareness one. You understand? That's why you go into that one. The Zen master will come and whack you. We have enough statue in the temple already. You say, I don't need another statue. You really go into a trance, understand? There is no thought activity at all. Everything queued into one point. One pointedness. So this Appana Samadhi is a conditioned state. So this one is a conditioned state. When you go into this, you cannot develop Vipassana understanding. This one is a conditioned state. It's not a free mind. Conditioned state. Not a free mind. That's why you cannot develop wisdom out of it. Do you know why or not? Because this state is too concentrated. All your mental hindrance, the 5 mental hindrance, sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness of mind and doubt, they are all suppressed. You know what is suppressed? Cannot arise. Yeah. So because of that, when it's a conditioned state, you can never test yourself. You can never know whether you have rooted it out or not. And some people can carry this state for 24 hours. Do you know that? They can be in this type of absorption state, jhana, for 24 hours. And yet, because that one is too still. I still remember the early days when I was in the university, first year. After I attended the talk, Chief Reverend, I went into that formless state, you remember? Then after that, later on, I continued to meditate. My anapanasati was so strong. No? I went into this Appana Samadhi. And I was in that state for a few months. Until this whole heart here, the whole heart area here, there is like a cylinder of energy, so still. Nothing can move it. Even loud thunder or what, cannot even go near. That's why it's like you already enlightened. Still like that. Then everything is so still as all. That is a conditioned state. I didn't know until later on when I came out to work. When I started to develop the interest for money, then I realized that things start to move again, because that time I didn't meditate so much. I need to work. I need to prepare myself for life. Then I realized after a long time, didn't go into that continuous mindfulness, Appana Samadhi, this state of Appana Samadhi, absorption state, which is better than the trance or the one-pointedness state. I realized this one starts to move inside. Then I realized, I got this, I don't call it desire, I got this funny intention to go and study law, to become better. Then I realized this thing starts to have craving again. Then I realized something is not right. Then I remember what the Buddha said. When you are in this state, it's like the clear glass of water. Actually, the sediment are all down there. But when you stir, it will arise, surface again. But because I was in this state, all the mental hindrances are suppressed. At that time, I didn't know until I met Ajahn Yantra later on. Yeah. Then when he mentioned the highest meditation, daily mindfulness, then only I realized what that thing is. Then I start to switch over from that over to daily mindfulness. Yeah. That time, after I switched over, after the daily mindfulness came, then I only understood what wisdom is all about, what that meditation is all about. Because during those years after I came out of the uni, I didn't meditate that much. Then this thing starts to surface. Then after that, 1986, the message came. Yeah. Then I went into it full time again. That's how I developed it. I met Master Xuan Hua. Then after that, Ajahn Yantra. Then the teacher came, the guide came. Then I switched my cultivation. Those 2-3 years. Then everything happened. So this is a conditioned state. Then this Upacara Samadhi is, they call it the threshold. You know what is threshold? Or assess. They use the word assess. Assess concentration. Or you are at the threshold of entering Appana Samadhi. So this Upacara Samadhi is more stable than Khanika Samadhi. But it has not entered absorption Samadhi. The trance, Appana Samadhi. It has not become a conditioned state, very still. This one, Upacara Samadhi, you can still think, you can still reflect, you can still contemplate. And this is the Samadhi that you need in your daily life, Upacara Samadhi. This is the Samadhi that can give rise to the direct seeing. This is the one where the mental hindrances are not suppressed. Can follow? Yeah? So there are a lot of things about samatha, meditation, concentration, but you can avoid them unless your past, you have done them before. Yeah. If you have done them before, you don't fear, don't panic. You go into it, then I will advise you how to come out of it. Whatever happened, if it's from your past, you will develop it again. Then when you develop it, the jhana, everything, it will come. But when it comes, always remember, you have to release the Appana Samadhi. Release the Appana Samadhi. Release it. Release it back to normal awareness. So when you release it back to normal awareness, initially you can stay at the Upacara Samadhi. When you stay at the Upacara Samadhi, it will give you what they call the Samadhi in daily life. It's not too strong, not too deep, but it is just sufficient for you to do your daily mindfulness. And during that time, you can have the ability to see things as they are. Because without the Upacara Samadhi, at the moment of sense experience, your mind will stir, will react to sense experience, born of your conditioning, your views, your opinion, your memory, or whatever conditioning that your brain has gone through, because you haven't developed the wisdom yet. So during that time, your mind, if it cannot be stable, means collected and unwavering, then you cannot see things as they are, then that daily mindfulness is not useful. That's why you must have that stability of samadhi. Then this samadhi will allow you to see things as they are. Means at the moment of sense experience, it does not stir, but it has that firmness of samadhi. Where during that time, your mundane mind is collected and unwavering, where it's in that state of continuous mindfulness, but it hasn't gone into Appana Samadhi. That is the one. And when you have that, you continue to see things as they are, clearly. Then you understand what the Buddha is trying to teach you. Then you understand how you function as a human being. You can see the link, the 12 link, Paticca Samuppada, everything very clearly, because of your daily mindfulness, because you are at the awareness level. That initially supported by the samadhi, the Upacara Samadhi. Yeah. Then later on, your mind will transform when the wisdom comes, when the understanding comes. So this initial wisdom, born of the first and second turning wisdom, listening to the Dhamma, reflect, contemplate, and inquiry, they will start to surface. Then when they surface, they will develop the straightening of the view, to cultivate the right view, the right understanding, which is a form of wisdom. We call it the initial wisdom. Then you develop the ability to see things as they are based on understanding. Then when that one surfaces, you don't really need the samadhi at that time. At that time, you can actually slow down your cultivation. You don't have to develop the stability of mindfulness until that mind is ever mindful continuously in that mindful state. Initially, you need that. But when your wisdom arises already, you don't have to depend on Samadhi. That's why you look at the 7 factors of enlightenment. Do you know Samadhi is number 6? Do you know? Samadhi is number 6. And what is the number 7 factor of enlightenment? Huh? Upekkha. What is upekkha? Equanimity of mind. Initially, before you develop the wisdom, that equanimity state of mind is born of samatha meditation. That's why those who in jhana, they have that 4th jhana in the state of equanimity. And they are really like enlightened. Yeah, I went through that when I was in the uni, in my early years of cultivation. The whole thing is still until nothing can move it. And your metta is very strong at that time. Very strong. Very, very powerful, very strong. Oh. And the whole mind like still. Nothing can provoke you or make you unhappy or do whatever thing to you. There is a conditioned state, so still. So when wisdom arises, it takes over and transforms the mind, not to react and not to stir, born of wisdom. That's why the equanimity that is born of wisdom is the real 7 factor of enlightenment, the 7th one. The one without wisdom one is not the real upekkha under the 7 factor of enlightenment. And that one happened under conditioned state of mind. And that is the very, very important difference. Otherwise, you will be trapped there without you knowing. Well, a lot of people who went into samatha meditation, they are like enlightened. But when they get old, when their body starts to deteriorate, when they are no longer in their youth, so young, when they no longer can maintain the jhana, the energy, the concentration, so what happened? Because age catches up. They start to have problem. Then when they loses the ability to go into that jhanic state, they will develop doubt, they will develop fear, unhappiness. Then they will have this doubt. How come last time my mind is so still, so stable? Nothing can cause me any problem. Like defilement all completely root out. But when they are without that conditioned state, when they are not able to go into that samadhi or samatha state of Appana samadhi, then they realize the Sankhara start. The mental hindrance come. Then they have doubt, they have fear, they have worry, they have anxiety. Then they have problem. Some of them have problem, no need to wait till old age. When they lose their ability to have jhana. You remember? During the Buddha's time? Who was it? Devadatta. What happened to him? He developed a lot of psychic. He went into all the jhana. Then what happened was he had this greed. He wanted to take over from the Buddha. And because of this, he developed a lot of defilement which become very strong. And he loses his ability to go into those jhanic state. And he lost his ability to do psychic ability. That's why he became very miserable later on. So, if it's a conditioned state, you have to be careful. Because this is not the real one. This one is just like make you believe that you are enlightened. Because it's really, the equanimity is really unshakable. The mind state is in a state of equanimity. At that time you develop metta, metta become very strong. Whatever you develop become very strong. Well, the mind is very strong. At that time you can focus, you can concentrate very well. And there is clarity of mind. You can do a lot of things. You can develop a lot of psychic ability too. Then if you don't have the proper teacher, proper guardian or proper path to guide you, you can deviate and you can get yourself lost. Then the karmic repercussion they will come back and hit you. Because whatever you do, if you do not have the wisdom, it will create the karmic effect. And this karmic effect, they will come back and haunt you. Like Devadatta's case and many others. But if you know how to use it for the good of the many to help people, then it's beneficial. Because there was a case during the Buddha's time, I think. Because this particular monk, at one time, it seems according to the sutta, I don't know which sutta, don't ask me, where I heard from Reverend Suwano. He said this monk, he developed all the jhana. Then he was in the mountains as a hermit. Then when he surveyed the world, he saw 6 monks cultivating, but trapped in a very severe condition. So he used his psychic to help them though, and to save them. And because of that, he was born as King Saka for many, many lives. Then during Sakyamuni Buddha's time, it seems, one of his disciples came and talked to Ananda. Then Ananda bring him to see the Buddha. Then he told the Buddha, the teacher teach him, every life you make offering to King Saka by slaughtering, sacrifice and all those things. He said, because he also do concentration, he realized every life he do that before that, when he died, he again become King Saka again, live very long. Then the Buddha checked, then he told that disciple, you go back and tell your teacher, this life if he don't change, if he continue, he will go down to hell after that. Because that parami that he has to become King Saka is when he used his psychic ability to help those few monks, 6 monks I think, if I'm not wrong, save them. And because of that, he has the parami to fulfill his wish to become King Saka for so many lives. And that life, that was the last one, it seems. After that, no more. It's not his sacrifice. That's why if you don't have the all-knowing knowledge or understanding of the Sammasambuddha or the higher beings cultivation, you think you see past life, you will get deceived. All these things he saw was true. After he died, he immediately take birth. Then again he became King Saka. Then after that he became human being, come down. Then he make the same offering. Then again he become King Saka. So he thought that offering was the condition behind he becoming King Saka. So he go and tell this disciple, he said, you continue to make this offering, you follow what I do. Then the Buddha checked, it's not the case. And all this, one has to be very careful. Where it's not true all this slaughtering and killing and make offering like that. If make this style of offering, you can become King Saka, then no need to cultivate already. And so every time make offering. And some more, the worst case is the offering involves killing something to make offering. So this is the part, because of condition, maybe you can get to understand it better. But if you have done this, don't worry, understand or not? Just tell me, then I will teach you how to come out of it. How to come out of it? This word is what? Release it back to normal awareness and cultivate daily mindfulness. This I must add in. And cultivate daily mindfulness. Because without daily mindfulness, you cannot realize the enlightenment. Without daily mindfulness, so daily mindfulness is the only way. That's why the 4 foundation of mindfulness, the Buddha start with the word Ekayano Bhikkhave Bhikkhu. O monk, this is the only way for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for realizing the right path, for the realization of enlightenment, Nibbana. namely the four foundations of mindfulness. That's why without the daily mindfulness, you cannot develop the mindfulness of the four foundations: Kaya Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, Chitta Nupassana, and Dhamma Nupassana. No way. So these are the understanding that you must have. I realize a lot of people, they become very impressed by people who have this ability to develop jhana, nimita, fantastic meditative experience and mind state, and they want to crave for it too and develop them too. But for those who understand, that is not the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha never teach that type of meditation. But he went through that. He himself went through, he followed the teacher who did that, understand? The jhanas. So after he followed the teacher and he developed until a par with them, that's why they invited him to come and sit next to them and become their peers to teach. But the Buddha said, no, this is not what I am looking for. Even after he has the ability to develop the 7 and the 8 jhana, means the formless jhana, that the last two teachers taught him, Alara and Udaka. He realized he still has a problem, because this physical body still go the way of nature, old age, sickness and death. He still cannot resolve it. Then they believe that is the highest. After you die, you take birth up there, you live very long, and that is the ultimate. But the Buddha knew, no, his problem is not solved, because to him, that body he still think is what he is, that life he still suffer. He still cannot overcome old age, sickness and death, because there is no wisdom with regards to those worldly phenomena. The reality of birth and death, life and existence. So because of that, he left the two teachers and he went on his own. Then he continued to search. Initially, he went through a lot of self-mortification, following what the other teachers taught him, until he was so skinny, you remember? We all went to Thailand, we saw at those temple area where they got a skeleton of him meditating down there. That is the wrong way, because that is self-mortification. They think by torturing their body, they could have finished off their karma. Then once their karma no more, they will realize enlightenment. No. The Buddha finally came to realize without food he can't. Then he remembered when he was very young, the harvesting festival. When as a boy or a baby, I think slightly older, I don't know how old, the harvesting festival, he went into first jhana. What is first jhana? You are still at Upacara Samadhi. First jhana, the 5 jhanic factors are still there. The initial application of thought and the sustained thought, these are still thought, but they are not actively thinking. That's why they apply thought. They apply the thought there. Then they sustain the thought there and fix it. That's why they experience piti, then sukhang, then one-pointedness, the 5 jhanic factor. And that is the first jhana. But later on they relinquish the first 2 jhanic factors. The first 2 jhanic factors are what they call in Pali is vitaka vichara. The initial application of thought. They no need to do that anymore. Then they no need to sustain their thought anymore. Straight away when they sit, they can go into piti, because their mind is very calm. They can actually go into it. Because when they reach the second jhana, they don't need the initial application of thought and the sustained thought to keep them calm, peaceful. They straight away can hold the piti as an object of meditation and develop that piti. That's why the second jhana is characterized by that. Without the vitaka vichara, the first two jhanic factors. Then later on, as they move into the third jhana, even this piti also fade away. Where they find it too gross. Then they use sukhang as the object of meditation. Then later on, they feel that sukhang is still too gross. Then they went into one-pointedness, equanimity of mind. That's why they stay in the fourth jhana. Then after the fourth jhana, you have to go beyond the form jhana. So they have to go into arupa state. That's why after that, they will go into the realm of infinite space. Then the realm of infinite consciousness. Then the mind of nothingness. The realm of nothingness. Then finally the mind becomes so subtle, so fine, until there is neither perception or non-perception, because they are like so still up there. And they live very long. That's why that eighth jhana is called the realm of neither perception or non-perception, because they themselves also don't know whether they perceive or don't perceive. It's so fine, so subtle, and they live very long. According to the Buddha, you know how long or not? 84,000 kapas. 84,000 world cycle. That's why they think it's eternal up there. They think that is the ultimate. That's why Uddaka and Alara and Uddaka taught 7 jhana, 8 jhana, the realm of nothingness. And that one, the formless realm, arupa jhana, there is no body. There is only mind. That's why they thought there is eternal life. But the Buddha knew it's not. That's why he went on his own. Then, after he recalled the harvesting festival experience as a kid, he decided to eat again. Then later on, he received the milk rice from Sujata, because Sujata made the vow to make offering to somebody before he becomes Sammasambuddha. And that vow was so powerful, so strong, that's why he got to wait for the timing for Sujata to appear. Then the condition all fall into place. Then when he take the food, he sustain his body. When he was young, he was well fed. And he went into the first jhana. That's it. He didn't go further. Then he reflect, he contemplated. Then during that time, he connect. Where he saw the sign, you remember, after he finished the milk rice offering by Sujata, he make an aspiration. Show me a sign, you see. If it's meant for me to be enlightened, show me a sign. And you know what happened? He threw that bowl into the stream. Instead of flowing down, it flowed upward against the stream. And he knew. That's why after that he made that vow. He said, not until my blood or what dry out or what. He will never arise from that seat unless he become enlightened. You dare to make that type of vow. I shall never arise unless he become enlightened. He said, not even until the blood, the sign, everything dry out also, he won't arise until he realizes enlightenment. And he really have the faith. That's why after that he sat. And that night he realized the full enlightenment. Then the moment he realized, he connect very fast. That's why he connect back to his spiritual nature. And the whole understanding just come. That's why after that for 7 weeks, 49 days, he was enjoying the result of what he has done. So first week he did certain things, second week he did certain things, third week until the 7th week. Then only he starts to sit down and reflect. Then he tell himself, this type of teaching, how to teach people, nobody can understand him because it's so completely opposite with what the world thinks. Just like what happened to me in 1989. Who can understand? Even if you want to share, nobody will believe you because everything you understand is the opposite of what the living being thinks. Then luckily one of the Brahma can read his mind, Sahampati. He came down and salute the Buddha, pay respect and talk to the Buddha. He said there are some beings with little dust on their eye who may understand your teaching. So please, O Lord, he said, please come out and teach. Then the Buddha reflected. Then he checked, surveyed the world. Then he think of the two teachers. He surveyed, he checked. One of them just passed away 1 day ago. The other one 1 week ago. Do you know why they passed away before he became enlightened? Yeah? If they have not passed away, the Buddha go there and talk to them. Within minutes, they will become enlightened. But because they make that vow, they vow to go to the 8th jhana and the 7th jhana. They think that is the highest. That one block. That's why before they fulfill what they want, because they believe it so strongly and they vow so strongly, that's why they take birth up there. So even the Buddha cannot do anything because of the condition. But then he remembered the 5 ascetics that follow him. He said, these 5 can. They have little dust in their mind. If he go and convince them, explain to them, they will awaken. That's why after that he surveyed the world and checked. And he went towards that direction. And he walked for a few days. How many days? You can remember now? He walked for a few days. But at that time, no aeroplane, no transport. Then when he reached there, he spoke to them the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Straight away before that sutta end, one of them, Kondanya, become a Sotapan. Straight away. Then he continued Anatta Lakkana Sutta. All 5 become Arahant. How come for 6 years they were together, nothing happened? Then the moment the Buddha awakened, the moment he shared the understanding, they straight away awakened. And do you think they meditate? The 5 of them. They were listening attentively. Correct or not? They were not in a meditative state. That's why through listening, if you have your past, you can awaken.